today we're gonna do a nice little simple painting that anyone can do and paint along. Let me run the colors across the screen that you'll need to paint along with me. While they're doing that, let me tell you what I got done up here. So, as you may notice, it looks gray at the bottom and it looks clear on the top because I put a black gesso. So, let me tell you exactly what I did step by step. The reason why it looks black is because I added a black gesso, allowed it to dry overnight, and I added a thin layer of liquid clear. On top of that, I added a layer of phthalo blue and midnight black. Those are transparent colors, making the black still look like black on camera. I added a thin layer of liquid white, and since the black is more dominant, it looks gray. But it's still liquid white and it works like liquid white. So now you could pull out your colors and you can paint along with me. This is a nice little simple painting. And if you're doing a demonstration, there's the perfect painting. So let's get started. Let's go with our 1-inch. Pull your brush through that titanium white. Where is my light space? Right here. And work your way outwards, blending that paint that's under. Going in circles, you can blend out that paint. If there's harsh lines or anything like that. Now, if you're gonna start with light, start back in the center. So going around lightly. And as you may notice, I'm always wearing an AirPod as a microphone, but I already ordered a microphone so you guys could hear the audio better. It's coming soon, so hopefully my new videos are a bit better quality. And I was looking around on the algorithm of YouTube, and I noticed around 70% of you, 70 to 90% of you are not subscribed. Please do me the favor and hit that subscribe button and leave a like while you're at it. It would do me such a big favor, and we could unlock much more perks. And I will leave the photo of that on the side, most likely. Should be around there somewhere. But I noticed not all of you are subscribed. Not all of you that watch are subscribed. So we need to fix that. We need to sort of come together and help a teenager do his dreams, you know? It would be nice for me to be able to do that. Sorry, the video cut off a little bit, but we're back. I was talking to myself for a while, but I left the painting where it was. So how I was saying, help me out. My goal for this year, 2023, is to get around, what's a good goal? Let's see. Maybe like 500 to 1,000 likes. No. Let's say 500 subscribers and 150 likes per video. Let's see if we could complete this goal at least by the end of the next New Year's. That's truly my goal now, and I'm gonna focus to make better content to make that happen. Now, I've been going back and forth into the center with that light. Go across, and diffuse the brush strokes. Oh wait, hold up, let me fix something real quick. I need to get better lighting. I hope that's a bit better, if you could see it better. But I just want a nice little like moon sparkle in the center and to work outwards. Working outwards with those brush strokes. Just like that, you have a nice little sky. Okay, so now what I want to do is maybe I want to create the illusion of there being some stars around there. So I'm gonna get my fan brush, a little bit of liquid white on the fan brush. I need to put my palette down so I can get both hands to do this. And just flick it off with your palette knife, or you could do your finger, but I prefer to keep my hands a bit more clean and just use my palette knife. Load it up more if I have to, and just like that you can make the illusion of a night scene. Okay, I have so many brushes on my table, I just need to kind of organize. Okay, let's come back to the palette. Same 1 inch. Clear out this area if I got any stars. We'll put this to the side. Recently, I went and bought a large 4-inch brush and my local Lowe's. And I ended up paying around like, I like to say maybe rough estimate $3, $4, maybe less, 2 maybe. But it was a pretty cheap brush, and I thought, well, I could use that brush to apply my mediums because it's quicker and it's easier and it takes less time. So if you go to a hardware store and you find a cheap little brush, take it. It might do you some good. Maybe not for some things, but it'll do better for other things. So as you may notice, I was mixing up a dark color. It was midnight black, midnight brown, little alizarin crimson, and phthalo blue. Picked up a roll of paint on the edge of the knife, right there, and maybe it's just a far distant little mountain. So I'm just making, sorry about that. Someone's coming in and they did not want to be on camera, so I told them it was fine and I would pause the video. But while that, I'll let you guys take a little break. Well, on the video it's not gonna be a break, but you guys could practice and pause this video and work on this while I'm pausing the video at pieces. So now we put the indication of the little mountain here and there. Now I'm gonna grab a brush. This is a distant little mountain. Okay. Now I want another mountain on the other side. So maybe Just maybe. I'm just cutting in a few little with tons of pressure. Now, since the canvas is dark, it's hard to see the dark color, but you guys could see a bit with the lighting. But for me, it's a bit more harder, so I'm struggling a bit more, but it's still a fairly easy painting to do. Okay, have a nice little imagery right there, but I want the indication of light being in between those mountains. So all I did was add white, kind of force that light in there, kind of. Okay, now I have my mountain mixture that I mixed up. Take a little bit of white, and all I'm gonna do is add a little highlight. No, nothing crazy, nothing too crazy where it takes over the whole picture. But give it a little touch, it's a little highlight. Maybe more white. Okay, just the indication of a highlight or two. Now, I want, let me think, maybe, just maybe, first let me mix up that color. Midnight black, brown like brown, a little bit more midnight black. When you're painting in this technique, you can't be scared to use quite some paint. This technique does require some paint, quite some paint, and the paint is kind of expensive. But for best result, you have to just kind of let loose and use enough paint. Okay, mixing that paint. Let me pile it up. Load my fan brush full of paint. Wiggle the paint through. And it'll ensure nice dark paint. Now, I'm gonna come around here and just gingerly with the brush just kind of shape the top. The bottom doesn't really matter. What matters is that top peak. Let me load up more. Just a little bit more. Nothing too crazy. Don't exaggerate. I think this one's gonna go behind. Okay. Now let me get this little bit of paint that's right here on the edge with my angle brush. all I'm doing is tapping the bristles and pulling through. Now, I'm gonna go into some dark sienna, titanium white, cut across, and just lay in what seems to be dirt or rocky mountains. I don't know just yet. Maybe this is what a little campsite would look like in the night while you're camping. A little light shining on these mountains / hills. We have I have all the palette knives, all the paints, all the brushes. I have multiple of each brush, so it kind of helps me not have to worry about cleaning the brush. If you don't like a spot, just scrape it off and blend it in. So if you want to accomplish your paintings quicker, I suggest you buy multiple of each brushes, and I suggest you practice the technique, because even if you have multiple of each brushes, the technique, if it's not nailed pretty good, you're not gonna get it pretty good. So you need to practice this technique over and over and over until you're finally able to get it. So now I'm gonna get a little bit of titanium white, and I want to thin it out with liquid white. Okay, little like waterfall type right here in the distance between the mountains. I'm just making a little indication right there. Maybe I'm gonna push up. Okay, now I'm going to go into that third color in cadmium yellow. Now, since it has blue, that cadmium yellow turns into a green. Let me get the lighting properly. Get some of that dark, and the more you put of that dark paint, the more dark green it's gonna get. Now, do that to the other side. And maybe, just maybe, I'm gonna get my 2.5 inch Bill Alexander brush. Tap some of that white. Has a little bit of blue, a little polluted. Doesn't really matter. I'm checking if it has paint. I'm tapping for that even distribution of paint on the bristles. Now, come around here. One pull, and I already have my waterfall. Now, I'm going to tap some foamy patterns blend the bottom with the top corner of the brush, and with my fan brush I'm gonna push up a few little minor little details, going back and forth. Now I'm gonna pause this video. For you it's gonna be like a second or two, but take this time to pause this video and really practice on where we're at right now. While you're doing that, I'm gonna fix the lighting and I'm gonna try and make this better for both me and you to see better. So I'll be right back real quick. Okay, so I'm back. I hope you use this time wisely and practice on the techniques to master this. Sorry. As you notice, there's more lighting now. I hope this lighting is better for you. It is a bit better for me, so hopefully the painting goes a bit more smoother. But let's continue with the painting. I've been pausing so much this time. I'm gonna try not to pause anymore. Okay, so now let's go ahead and go into that dark color. And just put in little indication of what seems to be dirt, maybe. I'm not sure quite yet. I'm just putting a little indication where I think should go. Remember, in your painting, paint whatever you want. I'm just here to show you the techniques and let you loose. Okay, tap a little bit of paint. I blocked in one side. Now let's block in the other side. Okay, so now I have it blocked in. Now I could go into some white, dark sienna, pick up a little bit dark sienna, just residues for me. And lightly with my fan brush. This is a number 3 fan brush. Let me put my palette to the side. I don't want to put paint on my clothes, you know. But just ever so lightly. So I just have my palette here, just picking up some paint and just gingerly going around. Now, this is something pretty easy, and I could just wiggle it, go across, and it'll diffuse the look. Now, tap a little bit of white. Tapping more. Now, all I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pick up more dark sienna, some white. I'm gonna go into liquid white to to thin it out, B to make it lighter. From here, really graze upon ever so lightly, ever so lightly. Okay, let me wash my brush. As you can see, the paint comes off with oil, soap, and water, rather than having to dip your paintbrush in thinner and you smelling all those chemical fumes. And it's just not good for you, you know? So that's why I recommend you do this. So I was taking quite some time. I got so calm, I forgot I was painting. Tap a little bit. Tapping the paint onto the canvas. Onto the canvas with light pressure. You can kind of angle the strokes to go down. Okay, well, you know me, I love a big tree. So, what I'm gonna do, I think I'm gonna go upwards, you know? Instead of downwards evergreen, I'm gonna go upwards. Midnight black, Van Dyke brown, alizarin crimson, these colors have dried out. I'm just reusing the colors. So look how I pile up my paint. First, I go through the side, pick up my paint, and when I'm laying it down, press it flat. So pile it up. So then when I get my fan brush, my number 6 fan brush, and when I load it, first I go into here to get my bristles with paint. Then I come up to the pile, kind of shake it, wiggle the paint through for an even distribution. I want the lighting to be hitting me. And just pull through. Look how much paint there's on those bristles. Okay, let's come up here. Maybe there's this big old monster tree. I don't know what it is, but every time I paint a tree, I always get my hand all shaky and nervous. I don't know why. I've done this so many times by now that you would think I would have no problem, but my hand always gets shaky. But it kind of benefits me because when everything's all straight, it just looks a bit weird. Sometimes you need an old crooked little tree right there. You know? One thing it does, it makes your painting look more interesting. Secondly, it pushes everything back. Depending how far you go down with your tree. So I'm gonna go all the way down to the bottom. I still have quite some space to go. So I don't really care where dark is because you can't really see it. I only care where the light is. But when it comes to highlight, I need to be careful because highlighting will pop out any mistake if there is. Now, I really hope you try these paintings out. I'm not signing off just yet, but for the next painting that I'll be doing maybe a nice little candle, with like a red background. We'll be using a black canvas and using liquid clear. I'm giving you a little heads up, and we could change up things a bit because I know you guys are used to seeing me do landscape. That I think it would be good to change things up a bit. So I'm just coming back here. Pushing the bristles upwards. Now, if you struggle with this, like you can't paint a tree with the bristles upwards, what you can do is you could get your canvas, flip it upside down, like it's a downward tree. A downward one, for me, in my opinion, is a bit more easier to control, but it's really up to you. Okay, now I'm mixing up a darker tone by adding more of that base color. Just a little mid-tone. And I want a really dark tone where it's my shadows. Okay, looks like so. I'm gonna add little yellow to a couple little branches, maybe a couple of them got some light. And just like that, we already have a big old tree. I really put too much. Well, not too much. I think you can never put too much paint on your bristles. But I put a lot of paint on my bristles that right now when I'm cleaning my brush, it's gonna take me like 2-3 tries just to get all that paint out completely. Because after going through that cleaning procedure, it's still slightly dirty. But it's still usable. I can mix it with other colors and it'll be perfectly fine. Okay. So now, cut across on the white, tapping with my palette knife. Just pulling across. I'm already imagining the next two paintings. Next one maybe a candle, after that maybe a little how you call it? Like a green valley. Somewhere where there's no mountains, just secluded around there. Okay, well, that tree needs a friend. So let me put another tree. I don't know why I cleaned the brush. Maybe that tree is smaller. Maybe that's the kid. No. This brush is a different brush. This is the brush that I used that was perfect for the job. That was a different fan brush and that was giving me different illusions. Now, if you really want to learn this technique really bad, instead of watching Mr. Bob Ross, I call him Mr. Bob Ross. You know, he's a great teacher, but he's kind of advanced, you know. So I recommend, instead of watching Bob Ross, watch Bill Alexander. Bill Alexander, just like me, will go step by step, teaching you will teach you step by step on how to accomplish some illusions. I actually started learning with Bill Alexander rather than Bob Ross, and it worked out just great because Bill Alexander doesn't work on much detail, so it helps out a bit. Okay, just along there. Maybe scrub those bristles on the screen. Now, I want a tree. I'm gonna add Van Dyke Brown to that dark color. Okay, with my filbert, I just put that small little indication. Little liquid white. Let me look for my liquid clear. Liquid clear, instead of liquid white, all I will do I got it now. I was a little unprepared. But as I was mentioning, it's all the same. Just liquid clear won't make your paint. Won't change the value of the paint. Won't change the color. Maybe this tree grew out with his friends, but didn't get any little leaves. Pull out a few little sticks, twigs. Okay. Do my script liner. Now, all I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna start signing off from this painting. You're like, oh, thank goodness. I know I kept you here for a while. But while I'm finishing off this painting, I would like to thank you for joining me in this painting. I am happy to announce I am soon to get a microphone, so the audio should be much better. And on top of that, I am working on making a shed or a cabin or a little art studio, so I could get in there, not having to worry about lighting, and all of us could learn together, you know. And the reason why I say all of us is because I might learn a little technique from someone else. You never know. So I'm excited for that. Being able to have our own studio, making it more better, and just making the videos better for the quality. And I hope you really stick around all those videos. Now, the shed might take a while, maybe a month, maybe half a month, I don't know yet. But as soon as I do, you'll see me in a little shed on a video. You'll remember I told you this. But let me put a little bush here. But until then, we're still gonna be painting outside. I like painting outside because kind of gives you nature, even though you know your surroundings and you're like, it's the same old, it's still pretty nice. And I love spending time outside, looking around, you know, seeing what new things I could learn. And it's always great and awesome to be around nature, animals, and all that. So I can't wait, how I said, to build my own shed or art studio. But that might take a little while. And for the meantime, we'll be painting outdoors. So what else should I say? But rather than that, please subscribe. How I said in the beginning was around 70% of you are not subscribed. Around 30% of you are subscribed that watch the videos. So please subscribe, turn on your notifications so you know every little time I post a video. And I wish you the best day you could ever have. And I hope you try this painting out, and I wish you have the best success you can have with this painting. And until next time, I'd like to wish you happy painting and take care. Goodbye.